What's up, y'all? This is Alex from the Rim Review. The Rim Review is a page that offers in-depth player analysis and gives nuance to the way you watch basketball. In this series, we're going to be going over every single prospect in the upcoming NBA draft. Some of which you may already know, however, there are going to be numerous hidden gems we explore in the coming weeks. In today's episode, we're going to look at the 6'9 forward out of G League Ignite, Tyler Smith. When looking at Tyler Smith's game offensively, a few strengths jump off the page. The first of which is his shooting. Smith had a good release and shot 36.8% from beyond the arc last season in the G League. That's a great number, and once again, I want to remind you the G League three-point line is the same as the NBA three-point line. So if he was playing in college, his three-point percentage could be 1 or 2 percentage points higher. So that makes it even more impressive, his 36.8% mark. Secondly, Tyler Smith was a really good pick and roll and pick and pop threat. He does an awesome job setting screens and recognizing when he needs to stay and make contact and when it's the right time to slip a screen or ghost it. This is why 21.3% of all of Tyler Smith's possessions were pick and roll actions. He uses screens a lot, and that is how he's going to score and help others score. Next, he's a really solid straight line driver. While Tyler Smith doesn't necessarily have the deepest bag of handles, he is able to use his frame, build, and athleticism to rip through, get downhill, and have a nice straight line drive. Finally, Tyler Smith is a really solid athlete, and it allows him to be a lob threat despite being undersized. There are multiple plays that were truly impressive, and I was really amazed by Smith's athleticism. There are still some pretty big offensive weaknesses to Tyler Smith's game, and the first of which is his tendency to settle. Tyler Smith oftentimes will get the ball in a really good position to rip through and drive or be a connective playmaker for others. Unfortunately, Tyler Smith time after time again will instead go with a mid-range shot, oftentimes one that's not even wide open. He's overly reliant on the mid-range, and that is a shot that is dying in the NBA. While he is quite good at shooting the mid-range, it's just not a shot that's really effective in today's era. Tyler Smith definitely has an old man's game, and this is something that I would like him to get better and have a more modern style of play and eliminate this type of shot. Secondly, when he is in the post, Tyler Smith is very overly reliant on touch shots. Because Smith is undersized, oftentimes if he deals with a little bit of initial resistance, he will flick up a touch shot when that's really not the best option. If there's a lot of time on the shot clock and you have the ball in the post, you don't have to be the person to shoot it. You could dribble up into a DL dribble handoff action, or you could kick it out, or there's a variety of other different things you can do. But Tyler Smith, when he feels that first bump, he floats up a touch shot, oftentimes hoping for a foul. He doesn't typically get it, and it's just not a very effective shot. Finally, he misses open passes at times, especially in the short roll in the pick and roll. This is why he only had about a 1.06 assist to turnover ratio, and I think he could have had a way better ratio if he was able to keep his head up and make good passes. Now, let's get into the film and watch Tyler Smith play. On this possession, we're going to see a little bit of what Smith can do in transition. Right here, Smith runs the floor hard and has a really athletic finish. What I love seeing here from Smith is the fact that he's able to create a little bit of separation and just has a little bit of swagger on that dunk. On this possession, Tyler Smith is going to be trailing in transition. Right here, he gets a nice trail three and knocks it down. He was confident and looked good. Now let's look at Tyler Smith as a screener. Right here, he does a couple of things well. The first of which is what I like to see is him making contact, but once he recognizes that this man has to change his direction, as you see right here, he just slips the screen because he recognizes that he already has the advantage. And so Jarace Walker is going to have to come over. So Tyler Smith opens up and really cleanly has a nice lob finish. Let's watch this again. And the dunk is impressive, but the slip is what, in my opinion, is even more impressive. That's why he got open. On this possession, Tyler Smith is once again involved in a play as a screener. Right here, he comes up and once again gets out early for an easy dunk. It's that slipping ability and that early just touch screen that he thrives with. On this possession, Tyler Smith is going to get a pocket play and have a nice finish. His teammate is going to end up being forced to reject the screen, but Smith continues to look for the ball and has a nice and one layup. On this possession, Tyler Smith is once again going to now set the screen, and then he has an easy pocket dunk, and just wow, what athleticism. On this possession, he once again has a touch screen, gets the ball, and finishes through contact. I like the finish right here. However, let's say that this is Derek Lively on the Mavs, a tall shot blocking center. There could be a potential opportunity to kick right here for a wide open three, but against his shorter guard, Tyler Smith made the right read and got an easy layup. On this possession, Tyler Smith is actually going to miss a kick and it becomes detrimental. Right here, he sets a screen and opens up. However, when he takes this dribble, it gives the defense time to recover, and you have now two guys right here that you could potentially hit in the corner. That shot was not the one that you wanted to take. If Tyler Smith had a more fluid dribble and wanted to finish through contact, that's one thing, but waiting for them to get here at this point, you should probably kick to this corner because Matas Buzelis isn't a great shooter, but you need to be better. On this possession, Tyler Smith is once again going to settle. He opens up here and gets the ball in the pocket, and what I would like to see is him to keep it high and hit the corner once again. This is because the defenders 1 and 2 are all focused on you. So if you make this pass, it's a lot better. Now, the pass fake into a tough contested mid-range is a horrible decision. On this play, we're going to see Tyler Smith showcase his pick and pop abilities. Right here, Smith pops, and while it is contested, he buries a three. Smith is a confident shooter. There are times where he hesitates, but most of the time he's confident, and it leads to him making shots like this one, and it's a quick, clean, easy release. Right here, exact same action and exact same result. Tyler Smith loves to pick and pop. On this possession, Tyler Smith is once again going to pop. However, what I hated seeing here is the fact that he was bothered by this defender stunting at him. When Tyler Smith catches the ball here, this should be an immediate shot. However, this swipe right here makes him think that he might want to pass over here, and so he hesitates and doesn't have as fluid as this shot. Let's watch this at full speed. See, he waited a bit too long, and when you wait like that, it just throws off your timing. I think that's something that Smith will get better at making those decisions with age, but it's just something to note when he picks and pops. Right here, I like the shot, it just didn't fall. Now, let's move on to Tyler Smith in the post. On this possession, Tyler Smith is actively and aggressively hunting the post. What I love here is not necessarily the finish. He missed. I like the multiple efforts though. But what is most impressive for Tyler Smith is look how he just pushes his man out right here, just throws him around like he's a toy, and gets an easy finish. It's this effort in hunting the post that is how he's going to get some easy buckets. Right here on this possession, Tyler Smith is going to hunt the post again, get great positioning on a shorter guard, and have an easy finish. Now, Tyler Smith is once again looking for the post. However, he's not able to create the initial separation before the catch. So once he gets the ball here, he has a nice drop step move, and his drop step is able to force this man to jump, and Smith draws the foul. On this possession, Tyler Smith is going to do his face-up move, which he loves in the post. He sizes up his man and knocks down a mid-range. While I don't hate that shot, I think he's overly reliant on this face-up fadeaway, and it leads to some bad results. On this possession, Smith is catching the ball at the elbow and takes this shot, which is not a good look. There's a big difference between a clean jab step and an uncontested shot and the one we just saw. Right here, I love Smith's aggressiveness looking for the ball in the post. And that shot's not as bad, but it's still not a very efficient look. Now let's look at what I think is one of his bigger issues in the post, which is just flicking up these touch shots. Right there, he was trying to go over his man, but once again, Tyler Smith is undersized and it leads to some awkward finishes. Right here, Smith is going to get the ball again, initiate contact, and then fling up a post shot, which just, the touch shot isn't necessary to play. Right here, it's another instance of Tyler Smith trying to score with a touch shot, and right here, he's just a little undersized and it doesn't work. Now let's look at Tyler Smith as a shooter. On this possession, Tyler Smith is going to come off of a screen right here, and he's ready, he runs with pace, and knocks a shot down off movement. These are the types of things that are very exciting to me. On this possession, it's another instance of Tyler Smith playing off of a screen. Right here, he acts like he's coming down and then pops back up for a re-screen 3. On this possession, it's another instance of Tyler Smith coming off of screens, which I don't know if he'll do that much in the NBA, but he did it a lot in the G League. Right here, Tyler Smith is coming off of this action, which is kind of like a flex, but a little weird. It's more screen to screener than flex. But he pops up right here, gets an open look, it just doesn't fall. Still, I like the effort. On this possession, Tyler Smith is going to relocate. So he gets the ball in the post here, passes, and then I love the fact that he pops to the corner. It just doesn't fall. I like the movement off the ball though. Let's now watch Tyler Smith in isolation, where he's very much a straight line driver. Right here, he just dribbles in and tries to overpower Jarace Walker, and then has a nice Euro step finish. On this possession, Tyler Smith is once again going to have a straight line drive, this time off a dribble handoff. Once again, it's just a straight finish. Unfortunately, in isolation, time and time again, Tyler Smith will settle for looks like that. That is not winning basketball, and the long two never works. Let's finish off with this play where Tyler Smith just hustles and gets a nice offensive rebound dunk. When looking at Tyler Smith defensively, there are a few strengths that stand out. The first of which is the fact that he's a very solid driving line defender. He only gave up 0.788 points per possession in isolation, which is a pretty good number to give up. It's not as amazing as some of the best defenders in this class, however, it's very solid. Secondly, I would say he's just an extremely competitive defender. He got 44 blocks last season as an undersized big. He's gritty and is willing to fight to make plays. Finally, he's very switchable, and if you play him as an undersized 5, you can switch 1 through 5, and it adds some creativity to your defense. Unfortunately for Smith, there's still multiple defensive weaknesses to his game. The first of which is the fact that he's just too short. At 6'9", it leads to him having a lot of mismatches in the post, and it allows for people to just out-muscle him. He played the 5 a lot at G League Ignite, and it led to him getting exposed at times. Secondly, he is unable to play in drop coverage. While he didn't do it a lot last season, Ignite experimented with it for a couple of games, and it did not go well. Finally, he's not the best at talking defensively, and it leads to a lot of bad miscommunications that give up easy shots. Now, let's get into the defense and watch Tyler Smith play. On this possession, Tyler Smith is going to have active hands in a driving line situation. Right here, as Smith's man has the ball, Smith does a great job staying in front of him and swipes at the ball right here to get a steal. On this possession, it's another instance of Smith in the driving line. Smith's man gets the ball right here on the wing, and Tyler Smith stays in front of him, absorbs the contact, and competes. Unfortunately, at times against guards such as this one, he gets beat by a change of pace, and it leads to a foul. On this possession, Tyler Smith is going to switch in the pick and roll, and he follows up that switch with solid driving line and a nice block. When you experiment with different coverages with Tyler Smith in the pick and roll, unfortunately it does yield some negative results, such as this one. The reason why this was negative is A, Tyler Smith is undersized. This means that in a 50-50 situation, he's probably going to get beat. But B, Tyler Smith's main job is making sure that this man doesn't get behind him, and as Tyler Smith did not do, he let him get behind him immediately. Right here, Tyler Smith is going to have bad talk in the pick and roll. What I mean by this is he thinks that he's initially going to give a hedge and then come back to his man right here. But this guy thinks that it's a switch, or thinks that it was forced to be a switch. Because of this, Tyler Smith is running back to pick up this man, while this guy is not doing anything and thinks that it's a mismatch. And so Tyler Smith gives up a wide open three. On this possession, it's more bad talk from Tyler Smith. Right here, he's hedging, and then they both come back to the same guy, and it's the same issue. This talk needs to be improved in the NBA. Right here, Tyler Smith, once again, doesn't communicate, and this really, maybe he should go to Jarace Walker right here, or he should be sending Norris Cole to Jarace Walker, but you can't both go to the same guy, and it leads to an open look that he's lucky is not cashed in. Right here, it's another instance of bad talk from Tyler Smith. Right here, Smith just kind of stands in no man's land, and once this pass is made, Tyler Smith has to recognize that he should already be running. He doesn't start running until the second pass is halfway there, and it leads to an open three. You've got to know and recognize this earlier and show some fight. On this possession, it's actually a good instance of helping off and playing good defense in the off-ball situation, is right here, he remains ready and traps the box to get a block. Once again, as I mentioned earlier, he competes and it allows him to have some help side rim protection, such as what we're about to see here. On this possession, Smith comes over and gets a nice block in a help side situation. Smith is a good athlete who's willing to compete, and so he's going to get these blocks despite being undersized. Right here, as this drive occurs, Smith once again comes over and gets a block. Let's finish off with watching Tyler Smith in the post, where he does sometimes struggle against bigger centers. Right here, Smith is giving his man multiple inches, and even though Smith competes and I think plays solid defense, the touch shot is able to be open because Smith is undersized. On this possession, it's more of the same as Tyler Smith gets beat because he's just a bit too short. I love his competing here, he's guarding with his chest, but he just gets pushed around and it leads to an easy layup. Overall, Tyler Smith has the potential to be a really solid role player and potential starter in the NBA. I love his shooting ability, and with his nice physical frame and athleticism, it could allow him to be a piece on any roster. However, I would like him to eliminate some of the bad habits that have kind of plagued him in his G League career. I think him going to an NBA team that has a good system in place and a winning culture would be huge for him. However, if he's not in a winning system, let's say he goes to a team that just doesn't have a great stability or good coaching staff around him, there's a potential that he continues to accelerate his bad habits and play losing basketball. Overall, I would say that Tyler Smith's ceiling is to kind of be a 4 in the NBA that starts, spaces the floor, and plays hard. That's a really successful career, and it could allow him to make millions of dollars. What I think his more realistic outcome is being probably a 7th man coming off the bench as a spot-up shooting big that can kind of space the floor, run some pick and pop actions, and do a variety of different things. What I would say that his floor is, I think Tyler Smith will get multiple contracts because of his size, athleticism, and shooting, so I would be surprised if he's out of the league any earlier than 4 years. But if he does leave the NBA early, the main reasons behind this will be his lack of height necessarily. If he wants to still play the 5, I think he'll have to develop and end up being a 4. I would also say his bad shot selection could end up hurting him significantly. And finally, his inability to talk could really hinder his game and could put him in a situation where he's out of the NBA in 3 to 4 years. But I would be very surprised if he's a 1-year washout. Overall, I would draft him probably in the late first, anywhere between 20 and 30. Once again, thank all of y'all for watching, and we'll be back at it again tomorrow with another episode of The Rim Review.